Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Happy Friday to you too, Napalm. You indeed are first. Welcome in. I don't know what that's doing there. That goes over there. Confusing. Hi, today is Friday, like I said, March 1st. A new month. New month, who dis? Hope you're all having a great week so far. Start of your weekend. Words, you know? Words. Anyway, today on our stream, because it's Friday, is Community Day. So I will be setting up Discord so that I can receive any visitors. Anybody who wants to join on a voice channel in Discord is welcome to. Just hop into any of the voice channels in the Discord server. I am doing so good with words today. It's going to be a great one for having conversations. I'm not even like overwhelmed or anything. I just forgot how to word for a little bit. Anyway, so that'll be there. The stream room is now open. Just know that if you do want to come through or do want to come into the stream room and have a verbal discussion about whatever, your voice will carry through onto the stream, and I post the recordings, I post the VODs to YouTube. So your conversation with me will be immortalized forever. And if you're not comfortable with that, then maybe just have the conversation through chat. Doesn't matter. I just want to talk with you guys. So that said, you don't have to use your voice. You can also just bring up topics in chat and we'll talk about whatever you feel like talking about within reason, blah, 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 blah. Check the rules. So one thing I noticed today is that I haven't needed to update my marquee banner, which is right here, because I keep forgetting to change it out for the actual project's banner during the normal streams and then change it back to this one. But I remembered to change it back to this one today, but it was already this banner, so doesn't matter. But yeah, so welcome in. Until we start getting some conversations going, the thing that I have been doing on Fridays, again taking a page from Bit Gamey and a few other people that I've seen, is working on a different project, a distracted project, a completely no expectations project, and it is to remake the bot in a very clean and nice way. So, oh yeah, right. So one thing that happened today, like normally during my workday, I'm watching YouTube videos, watching other streamers, of course, lurking on everyone's channel, but watching YouTube videos on .NET stuff. And one of them that I saw today was a Nick Chapsis video on how to make your link faster, behave faster, very, very easily. And essentially he was just showing how to use this package called SIMD Link, single machine, and that's what it stands for. So Microsoft have already done something similar to this between .NET 6 and 7, or maybe it was 5 and 6 and then 6 and 7, to make link faster for the sum, average, min, max commands. And it's essentially just using hardware acceleration if it's available, is kind of what it looked like it boiled down to. This does it for more than just sum, average, min, max. Yeah. I tried a few things and I found tensors to be fastest. So I think I know. No, I can't even say that. I was going to say I think I know the concept of tensors, but I don't. Like, I definitely know the term, where they're used, but I can't quite describe what a tensor is specifically. It's just a name. Wait, what? That one's hard to understand, Snubble. I don't think it is really connected to tensor. Do? Oh. Oh. Okay. I see. So there is a library called Tensors that probably does something similar to SIMD. Link system.numerics.tensors that make your link faster, I'm guessing. And might not have anything to do with tensor in the machine learning world. Oh, you don't use link, it's just something else entirely. Oh, is this like specific to sum, average, min, and max? And Napalm says, it always feels so magical when Copilot sees you doing something repeatedly and recognizes a pattern. Yeah, I do like that. I like that a lot. Because this will do stuff, I think even like transforms faster, not just maths. You do things like this. Tensor primitives dot x a dot as span b dot as span. So this is to do to apply exponent to a list of, or to spans of objects in this one example. Yeah, so a to the power of b. Very interesting, very cool stuff. So yeah, since I'm using link everywhere as it is, the thing that makes this easier for me is that if I add the library to an existing project, and then everywhere that I have using system.link, I change it out to use simd.link. I haven't used it yet. I just, saw the whirlwind tour of it on Nick's video. Here we go. Using, what am I doing? simd.link. There is no dot off of it, so it's just simd.link. Then, for example, if you have some do cap, sure. Var hold equals enumerable dot range 0 to 10,000, and then our output equals hold dot sum. Gosh, this is really annoying. Just sum. Leave it at that. Dang it. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you can see that this is the SIMD extension of it instead of just using the Microsoft Link version of it. So at that point in time, we get our hardware accelerated stuff, and then a whole bunch of other machine level optimizations for doing sum. And so the normal for each in this case would take about, at least on the benchmark that I saw in Nick's video, was taking about 2.2 microseconds. And then the Microsoft Link implementation that they did for .NET 6 or 7 or 8 or whichever one started it, took only 500 nanoseconds, and then this one took 200 nanoseconds. So it was about half of the time that it took. And yeah, it's just crazy. Anyway, that's only if you need like those You know what I mean. I told you I can't word right now. Hello, Dickasoft. Rename hold to hand, please. Done. I love it. Love it, Dickasoft. Thank you for that. Anyway, I'm missing all of your your statements, Snuggle. You can still beat it with intrinsics, but that takes effort. Yeah. So if you know how to do that lower level of coding, then definitely do it. But I like using libraries for things that I'm just not super knowledgeable about. I'm better at using tools that other people create in creative ways. One day I'll create my own tools. Often we don't need good perf though. Yeah, compared to potential. I'm really interested to see what happens in my client's project if we do use something like SimD Link, because we use a lot of Link in that project that seems to be a bottleneck, especially for initial app loads. And so I want to know if we can get any kind of performance. And it is a lot of operations because most of them are dealing with trying to get information from the BIOS or trying to get information from the kernel. Is crazy. Crazy good stuff. Just need to avoid really bad performance. True. IEnumerable is kind of bad abstraction for perf. Yeah, so in this case, I was just, or I guess this isn't really IEnumerable, but in this case, I was just initializing an array. The only thing that really needed to be tested was this. Napalm says, and can I say deleting code always feels so good when you weren't the one to have written it? I prefer deleting my own code. I don't like deleting anyone else's code. That's up to them to maintain their code and learn from it. I can see where it could be, but I just don't like touching other people's code as much. It has its upsides, but not full perf. I prefer church encoded lists. I've never heard of that. Of course, better for performance, simpler abstraction. And how does it compare to a plain for loop? Yeah, sometimes that's the fastest. So in this case, I don't know when you asked that, but I mentioned the benchmarks that Nick showed on his video. Sounds like it's IO limited. Another problem with Link is that lambdas can't be inline as far as I know. What do you mean they can't be inlined? Maybe in the future. Can you give me an example of what you mean by inlined? Because the whole point of a lambda is to chain them together. Here's this operation, take the output from that operation, feed it into the next operation, and so on and so forth. So that, yeah, I don't know what you mean by inlined. Hello, Thindle. I prefer random sort. If you just keep randomizing the order, eventually they will be sorted. True. I don't know what we're talking about. Hi, well, hello. Community Day it is. So anyway, yeah. We were just mentioning, I happened to watch a video this morning that Nick put out not too long ago, Nick Chapsis, about using this SimD Link library instead of using system.link and how that can give you some performance increases. I don't know if it's enough for me to want to use it or to be concerned with needing to use it, but we're definitely going to try it out. All of the extension methods on IEnumerables and lists and everything are the same. So yeah, it depends on what you're doing, I guess. SimD is pretty limited instruction set, if I recall. perm sort. Are you telling me that I need to sort out my hair? You don't like my perm? Yeah, I didn't understand the comment about inline. Permutation sort, got it. I know these terms. Yeah, I do. So anyway, there you go. That's that. More examples. Client services do. Oh, we were talking about some approaches for doing first letter capitalization. That's cool. Still there. Snubble says to Thindle, here's a list of the few SMD instructions. Or SMD instructions. I know these terms. It's that. Is that like yes? Yes. I know some of these words. Is that a quote from something? Because I'm terrible at quotes. I have not seen the meme. Feel free to share it if you can find it easily. I feel like that most of the time. I believe it's original. Oof, words today. Originally from a movie. That's quite a few methods. I was thinking it was going to be a picture, not a video. Memes aren't usually videos, they're animated GIFs. What did you just say? Did you just say GIF? Oh, I wanted the meme though. This seems like quite a few methods. I mean, unless a lot of these are the same method and just a whole bunch of overloads, and there's really only like 10 methods. Because I am seeing a bunch that do look the same, like rounding, but that's only a handful. I mean, there's a lot in here. Oh, and then maybe the versions on different architectures, and then the versions for return types. This is a lot. Okay, here we go. Oh, Keenan and Kel. Good Whataburger. I was gonna say Good Burger. But yes, this is exactly what it was. Holy crap. This is crazy. So many of them. There are a lot of Intel intrinsics. Don't think I've ever used unsigned var. Should I worry? I don't think you should worry, no. The reason that I would use it is for, like, if I'm making an enum and I want it to be a long, because I'm using something like flags, where you only use bit masks, essentially. So each value is a power of 2. That can fill up really fast. Like, you get 32 bits for regular enum, or 32 entries. 32, 16. One of them. One of those numbers. But if you do an unsigned int, then you double that. If you do an unsigned long, then you double that. And so Usually if you're using flags, you don't really need all that many, but if you do, then you can. Yeah, if you don't need huge numbers, then you don't really have to care about it. Another thing that you could use it for is validation. If you want to make sure that numbers that you get aren't negative. So, does anyone remember, did we actually create all of the class libraries for our Blazor bot? I don't think so. It looks like we're missing... Oh, am I calling it something different? So I think I was experimenting with naming the shared libraries differently. And so typically in my projects, I use a naming convention of my applications are whatever the application type is. Although this should say .api if I was following that in FineAndMan. So FineAndMan.api, it's just that I used the Blazor template to create this project and it created it as .server. So that's why we got that. And then the .client project for the actual thing that is presenting the UI and the user is interacting with and is on their machine. .maui, .uwp, .wpf. So you can see that there's this simple naming convention for the application type. And then I have the Blazor UI, Blazor UI.shareComponents. So all of my UI goes in one place, and then my shared libraries, where shared is essentially all of the POCOs and all of the abstraction classes. So all of the service interfaces, if I'm using state, all of the state interfaces. In that way, any application, any front end, any UI that I use the same interfaces. And then the actual application itself is the thing that says when you are trying to use an iAccount service, then use the shared servers implementation of account service that actually has access to database, to whatever else. Or use the client side version of it that does HTTP requests to get that information from the API. Or wherever else. Like maybe this in some other world is gRPC. And so your implementations of the account service are gRPC messages. And yeah, that's how that works. So any implementation you want, the application specifies who does that. But you can see that I then have the shared client, shared server. I put all my localizations in their own project. Not that we're actually doing for real localizations, but we could. But typically you don't need localizations on the server, only on the client. But maybe there would be some instances where the API returns status messages and you don't use key entries on the client. So instead you just want to already pass the localized message, provided your API request comes with which locale you want it to be in. And then support libraries and test. So anyway, as you can see, shared client and shared server are what I called the implementations of the abstract models. But here, since most of the time, if not all the time, these are only implementing the service interfaces, and I guess client side uses state interfaces, I decided to call them client services and server services. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Because then does that mean that I create a separate library for state? Oops. maybe. Let's see what that looks like. State management. So as you can tell, this is quickly turning into a monolith. I mean, it was always a monolith. It's turning into a large monolith thing. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, back to chat. Back to chat. I just wanted to get that out. Signed int, negative 3.3-ish billion to 3.3-ish billion. 3.3? 2.9 something? Or 2.49? Dang it. I know how to ask for this typically. Yeah, 2.147369. Yeah, 2.147 billion. And 32 max value is what I would normally search for. And then int 64. But normally Google gives me a table. Yeah, this table. Thank you. Add unsigned to it. But anyway, yeah, you just double the maximum value and go from 0 to that maximum value, and there you go. And also remember that there is such thing as big integer class. And so if you need to do really, really large math, or math on really, really large numbers, C#. Essentially, you're just breaking the number up into parts and then combining them again. I think I had to use this once. I don't remember what for though, but I did have to use it before because I was summing really, really, really big numbers. Snablo was asking about this. Gosh, let me catch up in chat so that I don't talk over what you've already said. The billion numbers might be off by about 1 million. Okay, don't say my bag. Famous middle of career word. Yeah, I won't reach that. Not last, but words on the path to there. Indeed. Who will ever read more than 512 kilobytes of RAM? Need. Oh my gosh. I can't read and I can't word. It's all falling apart. Here's a 5 megabyte hard drive. Yes. Look at that huge coil of wire. I mean, I don't trust any pictures I see on the internet anymore to be real. But if this were real, it's believable. Definitely believable. Love to translate exceptionism. Is exceptionism a real thing? Not a whole bunch of IOPS in that thing either. IOPS. I would love more APIs to provide translated error messages or a list of all error messages that can occur and the formatting string. Absolutely. And then you can write your own localization keys off of that. That would be nice. Client services use an interface and call an API endpoint that uses server services of the same interface. Correct. Exactly. Yes. Is there big in C#? They added it. Just expect big int to be not fast. I mean, it's fast, but not nearly as fast as int32 and 64. Big integer has existed long time in F#, for what it's worth. Yeah, I bet. F# Well, I mean, like, it's the use case of the language, right? You're doing data. Typically, you use F# for data science. I know you can do it for a lot more, but typically, you use it for data science. And so, of course, they would have stuff like that as a functional language. I feel like logging exception handling is a bit of an art. Yes, agreed. I am refactoring the crap out of stuff for this today. I meant translate exceptions on server. Oh, yeah, cool. I think IOPS is the most unusual way of saying it. Oh, most usual. I'm telling you, I can read. I can. Oh, I feel great today, guys. Just to let you know, I know I often complain on the days that I don't feel well, and don't really talk about the days when I feel really good, I guess. But I feel really good today. I just can't read or word. It's so weird. But yeah, IOPS is the most usual way of saying it. Technically, it should be IOPS. True. And hello, TBD Gamer. Amazing stream earlier. Great stuff. I'm sorry about all of the... I mean, I'm apologizing for it, and I said you have nothing to apologize for, but I'm sorry about that crap storm that happened with the bot follows. That's so dumb. So annoying. Moon has started streaming. Moon is... Let me hop over to his stream and start lurking. It was... How many Z's are in Muniz? 2? Yeah. Ooh. Same time as F# 2. Oh. Oh yeah, same time as F# 2 came out. It was a rough one. I got rid of the botted follows, luckily. Awesome. Cool. And here we are on a bot takeover. Like the name of my stream is called Bot Takeover. Because I work on the bots on the bot on Fridays. So, or not really work on it. Like I said, you guys are first. Word? 32-bit word. D word. Oh man, I had to work with like, what is... I don't really want to know, but I do kind of want to know, but what is the origin of using D word and whatever the other one is? I can't even think of what the 64-bit one is. I'm sure you guys know. Just word. Hold on, let me go into my registry. Just so we can find out. Add a new keyword. Yes, thank you, Solo. Like, I know this is something I could look up, but I'm not interested enough to look it up myself. But if anyone happens to know off the top of their head without needing to go out of your way to look it up, why D word, keyword, why we... Like, I understand that word, a character in a word is like 4 bits, 4 bytes. For anyway, so word is 16 bits. Word is the size of the memory address size. So it was 8, then it was 16. Then we got an issue, but a lot of software was built so word was 16 bits. So instead of upping it, they called the 32 a double word. Yeah, I kind of thought something like this, but I wasn't 100% sure. Anyway, thank you, Dukasoft, for doing the shout out for Solo. Did you do one for TBD Gamer as well? Doesn't look like it, so I'm gonna try, but we still have to wait until this current shout out. cooldown period is done. For int is unknown how big it is. Oh dear. Many assume 32-bit, but that's not guaranteed. It could be 28 bits. Oh, that's great. I think we've pinned int at 32 these days, but it's not specified as such. Oh, what was I saying? I had to deal with dword and keyword because, again, I'm reading BIOS values, and the spec for the BIOS, like specifically the one for the OEM that I work for, the spec for the BIOS is like to get the, let's say, thermal zones. To get the thermal zone temperature, then you read this address. But if the value at that address is FFFF, then you read this other address for the full value. And then you pretty much add FFFF to that second address to get the actual temperature. I'm like, yeah, this makes perfect sense. Oh, and then of course they tell you the data type based off of pretty much the OS data type that you would see: dword, keyword, string, bit. Int is int32, string is string. Yeah, so oh man, when I typed that into John's channel, it was because I was talking with Soft as in software. Oh, first let's do this one. Okay, so this is TBD Gamer. I want to do video shout outs for both of you, for Solo and TBD Gamer, because I love the work that you guys both do. TBD Gamer is working on an application, a management application for devs, essentially, that will be more tailored to doing product do we call it product management? You described it so well on your stream, and I'm still trying to figure that out.
Now,
but
when you hit
this
save
is
changes, obviously all the changes are in here, right? So additions, updates, deletes are all in here for every entity you're about to save. So that's where the link that Kevin sent earlier on, which is, this is where this is part of, where you can now detect what has changed.
Anyway, it's so much fun watching his stream. And then on Mondays and Tuesdays, he does okay, so this project that I was just talking about is one that he works on stream and off stream. He treats it like it's going to be a product that will be marketed or published, released at some point in time, because it's his goal to, it's his intention. So he does work on it off stream sometimes. But on Mondays and Tuesdays, he works on another project. I don't exactly know what those are because I haven't caught a Monday, Tuesday stream where I was able to listen. But those are done exclusively on stream, so you can see the entire process of an application development from a professional developer that's been in the industry for a really long time. So I really, 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 really love that. It's so cool. Solo is working on mixed reality, which is the industry that I really want to go into.
The neural network is actually what we train.
Oh,
Ryan's too it's scary. Oh, this dude, yeah. Are we looking
this
at
was Halloween.
Like weird stream artifacts
great.
happening right now, or are you just talking about this guy? Oh, is there, what's going on? Is there weird shit happening? Hold
on. So Solo was over Halloween, and it was just after Halloween that he was actually able to do it. He was making a digital twin of his apartment or loft or house or living area, and he invited us to join. And so the mixed reality stuff that he does is completely cross-platform. So you were able to access it on a flat screen device in 3D. You could have used a VR device, an AR device. So he is truly doing cross-platform mixed reality development that it's where I want to be. It's what I want to be doing right now. So that's why I really love watching his streams and hanging out with him. Missed you last Friday, but hope you're doing well. Okay, and then please love me, baby. I love you so much. Almost. I almost got it all without stuttering. Anyway, what are you cutting, bro? So we're on community day today. So today is the day when I focus on you guys and answer any questions you have, talk about things that you want to talk about in the technical space, in the technology industry, and shout out amazing people a lot, like Solo and TBD Gamer. And then read out things like, I hate when I get a Teams call. This is Napalm saying this. Do you have a moment? Well, I guess I do now since you called without checking first. Fixed with integer type since C99. But yeah, so if we do any coding, it will be the remake of the bot that we're using on stream. So this guy here, please introduce yourself. And I said guy, but it prefers pronouns it and that. So this is Automated Realms, friendly AI chatbot here to provide entertainment and assistance. I'm programmed to be respectful and helpful, so feel free to ask me anything or just chat with me. So that is just the LLM portion of the bot. It uses normal OpenAI API structure with TextGen Web UI running on a machine over there with the large language model running locally on that machine. But I also have regular commands like important, helpful. It is just an open source LLM that I'm running, and it's 7 billion parameters one, so don't expect it to be super duper accurate or remember anything, but it is fun to play with. But we do have regular commands that go through the bot. We have a stream game, like this one. I have to do this every time because, you know, it's like it won't show up unless I do that. And here you can see the bot is telling me in natural language the instructions for the game. So what I did is I gave an instruction to the bot once you redeem archery that says rephrase this in a friendly way, and then here's all the information that I want you to put in your message to the user that just started the archery. So you follow the instructions and you type !pew because the instructions say to type pew. And we've been trying to do the archery thing and get as much airtime as you can. And I will update it so you get a higher score the longer the arrow's in the air. 42. Nope. I'll fix the noises, the sounds that it makes, and everything. Yeah. So anyway, Fridays are intended to first focus on you guys, secondarily rework the bot. And then if you're Dukasoft, you get magical sounds. Magical sounds. If you hit it at full power on the last one, I should make the target explode. I guess the thing that I should say about the bot game is we made it entirely in Blazor. So we tried not to use any JavaScript at all. We did HTML, CSS, and C#. And so everything you see, from the arrow animating across the screen to the positions of everything to the simulation of the shot itself and the scoring and all that, is done with Blazor with no JavaScript. JavaScript. Not that JavaScript is bad. I just wanted to see if there was a Blazor way to make a game. Yeah. Using only HTML, CSS, and C#. So, what else is up? Did I miss anything? I deny Teams calls often. I don't, because thankfully I don't get them often. The thing that does happen often that really gets under my skin is let's have a meeting in 10 minutes that will last an hour. And it just gets sent out as an email invite. And it's like, no. Did you even use the scheduling assistant and see whether or not I'm available during that time? Wait, what? Bindle's telling you to unsub? Oh, you got a new one. You got a new one.
10,125 and 1. Run. 3 articles, 145.60. 10,125 and 600. This should be a lot. 600, perfect, go. Yeah, that works. It worked. Hurrah!
Hoorah! So that's Thindle. He's working on doing .NET modernization. So he's going from .NET Framework to .NET Core and using latest technologies for a long-standing app. I'm assuming it's long-standing since it was originally ASP web forms or something. So yeah, so he got some new emotes. I saw them on John's stream yesterday. Web forms, yeah. And so now we have these emotes that you would never want to lose, ever. And so they are modeled after his kitten. He also got a Captain Coder. At least I assume that's who that is. He looks like the Captain Coder. It is. He doesn't want ads, so he's not getting affiliate, but he spread some emotes around. That's awesome. Yeah, it is kind of annoying. Like, one thing that I have been wanting to do is, as soon as my pre-rolls turn off, although the thing that should happen on my stream is the only time you get ads is if you join when pre-rolls are not off. You know, you start the stream only when pre-rolls are not off. There shouldn't be any ads during the stream if you haven't refreshed your page. I think. I don't know how it works. So, anyway. Yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me. Have you run into adverts after joining the stream? And they just happen. I'm double invested with Turbo and Sub, which is really appreciated. Absolutely. You definitely don't need to feel any obligation to sub. Yeah. The only way that I would ever benefit, I don't know the word. I know that I appreciate it. That's about it. Can't stand ads. Yeah, it's a little bit different for me because of multi-stream. This, except that CodeRad stream always crashes on me. If you couldn't tell, I'm waiting for Solo and BitGamey to start their streams. Anyway, if they ever have an ad, I don't see the ad itself. It says, so-and-so is taking an ad break. Please wait. We'll be right back with your content, kind of thing. So, yeah. I don't really see the ads. If soft is, did I mention I'm having trouble with wording today? If soft as in software shows up, he was playing with this really interesting, at least it was interesting to me, thought. And I don't know where that would be right now. What did I do with that stuff? Blazor UI interop. I mocked it out, whatever it was. Oh, yeah. Wait, no, it was definitely Finan Man that I did it in. Where is my modules? My isolated module is in shared components. Okay, so here's, if any of you are interested in thinking through this, like maybe you can come up with a use case for this. But if you don't know him, Soft as in Software is making Office add-ins. Soft as in Software. So he makes, I don't know how to type. He makes Office add-ins, and the way that he is doing it now is using Blazor, which is insane. You can write Blazor and make Office add-ins. And an Office add-in is just anything that you use in Office products where you click a button and it does stuff for you. So it automates a lot of stuff, templates, emails, whatever else you want to do. Generate charts based off of data that you have. So anyway, he found a way to use Blazor to do that. And so one of the functions that he has inputs a table into an Excel workbook, into a spreadsheet. And he was just showing that you can call Blazor from JavaScript, which many of you already know probably, by using .NET.invoke method async. Here it is. And then you give it the names or the assembly, and then the method name, and the method has to be static and blah, 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 blah. You can also call JavaScript from Blazor, and you have two ways that I know of that you can do it. One is by loading your JavaScript as a module, and you get this IJS object reference to that module, and then you can do all of your invoke void or invoke async of type blah, and then call the methods from it. Or you can have a static class that you take the JavaScript runtime and then you do JS runtime dot invoke void blah, 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 blah. That usually involves loading your JavaScript up front, or you could even do a lazy load of your JavaScript if you wanted. So defer, just add the defer on your script tag for the JavaScript. But you typically register an object to window that has all of your JavaScript functions. So all of those pieces are out there now. Let's take two of those pieces together. We have the ability to call JavaScript from C#, and then we have the ability to call C# from JavaScript. So he was toying with the thought of, wait. I'm missing something. Did I undo stuff or something? I wanted to show it. On index.razor, we have sample isolated JS component. This thing. Okay. So I have a button on this page that when you click it, here. It calls JavaScript to show an alert window. That alert window code turns around and says, hey, C#. So here's the alert window, alert message. And then it says, hey, C#, run this method. So then C# runs that method. Again, that method has to be static. So then he's like, can you within that JS invocable method turn around and call another JavaScript method? So this one here. And so you would think it'd be kind of straightforward, which is you just use the same isolated JS pattern, which you could see in my isolated module, which is you have this value task IJS object reference. That is your module. If it's null, initialize it using the JS runtime. This is an injected JS runtime, even though it looks like I'm just passing it into this class, but the my isolated module is also injected. So that's why we get this injected. So you could put this inside of a component directly. Point is, you get your isolated JavaScript module loaded only when you use it. That's okay on components that have a UI that does render, that has the lifecycle that does on after render, because your JavaScript runtime context, I don't really know what to call it, gets initialized correctly. But if you're using a static class and on after render does not trigger, then how do you get the JavaScript runtime available to that, or I said static class, static method, to that static method? And so we played around a lot, we thought about it a lot, and we're like, we'll make everything static. So make your module that you're going to load static, and then on after, the first thing we tried was on after render, set your local JavaScript runtime, static runtime, to the injected JavaScript runtime, which would have worked, except on after render wasn't getting called. So then we're like, okay, what else could we do? And thought up a few more things. The final thing that I came up with was using a timer. This is like a terrible approach in my opinion, by the way. Using a timer that after X amount of seconds or milliseconds, it would run and then set up your static JavaScript runtime to be your JavaScript runtime that was injected. Hopefully that was enough time for the page to render or for whatever needs to happen to the JavaScript runtime so that it gets all of the context and you can use it. Because if you've ever worked with JavaScript runtime before in a Blazor app, you'll know that if you use it before the initial render, it fails. It says, I don't have the context to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Let's actually find out what the error message is. I am interested. So we'll do change this to a task, async. And then we'll do await JS runtime. So this is my injected JavaScript runtime. Invoke void async. And do I actually have anything registered for this? Super Dukasoft interrupt. I sure do. So it's called, oh dear. Oh dear. Duke soft funks dot. Which one do we want to use? Clipboard copy. Duke soft funk. And he's dancing to it. Hello from C#. Okay, so notice that I am going to try to do this in uninitialized. And so if I have the console open, I mean, it'd be kind of hard to maintain when he doesn't actually stream. So we could always use my emote, my free emote spaces for it. Oh, I don't know if you need to maintain it, but he has to be able to get there first. Yeah. Anyway, I want to see what this does. Bang. We should crash. Uninitialized. Wait, what? I expected... Oh, you know what? It probably is waiting for me to rebuild. I've been streaming a black screen, though. Okay, there we go. Here's our exception, which is the value dukesoft funcs.clipboard copy is not a function. That's not what I expected. Oh, you know what? That could be right if it tried to run the JavaScript method before this loaded. Clipboard copy. Did I spell dukesoft funcs wrong? I copy and pasted, right? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I was just trying to show that if you try to use the JS runtime before it's ready, you get exceptions. And the time that you are guaranteed that the JavaScript runtime will be ready is on after render. And since in Softisan Software's code, on after render wasn't running, yeah, anyway, on after render wasn't being fired, he wasn't able to safely get a JavaScript runtime that was initialized, and so he was constantly getting errors when trying to do this process of call JavaScript from C#, call JavaScript from C#, call C# from JavaScript, and then call JavaScript from that static method back. Ugh, that was hard. So his overall thought, though, from that is that even something people would want to do? Do you have any use cases where you would want to call JavaScript from C# to start some process that can only be done in JavaScript, or is easier done in JavaScript, or whatever reasons you have for running JavaScript from C#, only to have that call back to your C# method, only to have that call another JavaScript method? Like, is that even something you would do? Or would it make more sense to invoke your JavaScript function? Maybe you call C# to get some data from that JavaScript function, but then the JavaScript will be the thing that calls the next JavaScript function that's needed. I know. And with the stream stickers add-on. So tell me about stream stickers if you want. I think that sounds... Isn't this with Signal ourselves? Remember that this will be in the context of Office add-ins, and in this case, it's specifically an Excel add-in. And so it's already a pretty, I would call it complex, workaround. I don't want to say workaround because it seems like it's the right way to do it, the way that he has it. Way of doing Blazor to create Office add-ins. I mean, I can see where it could apply to JS to Blazor to JS, where your Signal R hub is the eventing server that they both get their messages from. Because you can implement Signal R, you can use a Signal R client in your JavaScript context and in your Blazor context, or in your C# context. Yeah, and that too, you could have your JavaScript be the Signal R hub. Snubble said to Thindle, not that you asked, but I did a very nerdy presentation on how to make 4 kilobyte exes. Oh. Can you somehow, somewhere name of your function name calls and definitions? In JavaScript, no. That's like maybe what you would do on initialize of your JavaScript module is you pass it the assembly name. So essentially you would load your module and then you do invoke void init and then you pass it name of this get type assembly name. Oh, not even name of, just get type assembly full name. Oh, except that this is a static context, so I wouldn't do it here, obviously. I would do it down here. In which, if I was in the static context, it would just be type of. I think maybe that's what I was thinking. And that way your .NET invoke calls, and then maybe you give it a list of possible methods too. That way as well. But Snubble says, I am submitting it to the next Sweet Hug. Sweet Hug? I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, I pronounce it Sweet Hug. So you can publish, do logic in Blazor, and get a subscription message back, I guess. True. Yes. 4096 bytes. Yeah. So kilobyte, right? Like genuine for real kilobyte, not kilobyte. Think. I don't want close enough. I want to be correct. I want to say it correct. I want to respect the name of the conference by saying it correctly. I am so random today, but continuing with that, middlewares in Azure functions, isolated model are great. The hard one there was the apostrophe. It threw me. I can read. I don't think Signal R supports messaging with a direct response. Correct. That would be something more like gRPC. So I'm actually running into that very same issue right now. I keep talking about this one because it's really interesting to me and it's kind of fun. I work for Sagetti. I'm pointing this side because this is Sagetti, which, now that I've mentioned their name, all the views and opinions expressed on this channel are my own and not necessarily the views and opinions of Sagetti. They put me on a project with one of their clients, which is now my client, and I can't mention their name. So anyway, that client is big. They have multiple teams working on different products. A lot of the products are centered around doing diagnostics type things for the devices that they manufacture. And the one that I work on are the hardware devices connected to your machine directly. No, hardware devices inside of your machine is what I should say. I guess the exceptions are webcams and hard drives that could be external. All of the other devices are handled by another team, so peripherals mostly. Oh, and I guess keyboards too, which, yeah. Anyway, so another team does the like docking stations and displays and other peripheral devices. And so what they're wanting is to unify all of these diagnostics into one application. And so our application, the one that the team that I'm working on with is working on, is the one that they want to pull these other diagnostic systems into. And so I'm trying to integrate the work that was already done with these peripheral scans and stuff. And the way that they've architected everything is they have this Signal R backend that runs as a service. And to get information, to command it to do stuff, you do it through Signal R. So I send a message that says init, and I'm supposed to be listening for messages that come back that say init accepted, I'm running, here's my progress update, over and over and over. And they've implemented an interesting approach to doing this. But the hard thing is, it's one of those things where you wish it was more like a Kestrel server that you can do API requests to that just says, give me the status of the devices that you've discovered, or give me all of the devices that you've discovered, and then you get a streaming list or whatever. And it's just been a pain so far. It's it's really difficult to work with. It's an interesting approach. I thought it was cool at first, like, oh yeah, you're using Signal R, you send a message to it, it does its work and then sends a message back, or broadcast a message, I guess, to all listeners. But not very easy to work with. And I'm still stuck on the part where it's actually not initializing and getting the devices list, so I'm waiting on them to give me information about that. Anyway, that's my stand-up. I don't think Signal R supports messages. Okay. What did I get a shout out for? Because you're napalm. Copium. Serenity Online. Oh. What is this about? Snubbles? I like it. It's a yoke. Oh, so click the button and then you see a joke. I don't click buttons on websites I don't know. Thindle said, I have two friends who work at Sagetti and another that just interviewed there. Awesome. One friend is in, you said this out loud on your stream and I made a note of it, but now I can't think of how it's pronounced. And the other is in Colorado. Who's the one in Colorado? I read it as John Coping. It's Yoon Cooping. Yoon Cooping. Or Joenkopen. Something. I can't remember. Wait, so I said too many too fast that I don't know which one. The Colorado person is not Napalm. But yeah, Napalm, you got a you got a shout out because you're Napalm, and you code. That's why. Anyway, Serenity. I'll click the button, just not on screen. Holy cow, that's loud. Ah. Hello. You guys can't hear this, but it's really loud. So if you go to this site, yeah, find Serenity. It's one of those self-help sounds where it's talking you through these positive reinforcement things, but they're in the this is how you cope with all of the stresses that you have to go through in your normal workday, working with people that don't necessarily have the same values and approaches that you do when you code. That post-mortem that you went through was worth it. The meetings, I'm sure they would put meetings in there. The meetings you attend are important. Even if, yeah, I probably need to listen to that whole thing because I'm definitely getting to that. Not quite happy with the continuing patterns. Not sure where Napalm is, and I don't think he's at Sajetti. But what do I know? I don't know anything. Pennsylvania and Stryker. I just wanted to say it that way. That's cool that you're in Pennsylvania. Because I said so. Good reason, Dukasoff. Good reason. X gets the square. Go give Jeff a hug for me. Which Jeff? We have a Jeff in or Lurkin probably now. I know which Jeff you're talking about, though. And isn't he in Philadelphia? Just saying. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't expect you to know US geography. They do, but I can see how you can get them confused. Trust me. I get it. Like, yeah. Like, how close to Stockholm is Jönköping? Jönköping. I got the first O. Jönköping. Interesting. So the K is more like a sh. Well, yeah. Cool. I don't know why, but I like language. Except that I can't word, so it can be both hard K and soft. And how do you know when to pronounce it which way? Is it like certain rules, like if it appears before Magic. TPD Gamer. Well, that's just confusing. We have a lot of confusing rules in English, so I think val equals hard, but don't quote me on it. It's just something you know intuitively. Yeah, so a value before, then it's probably, and then if it's a consonant before, then it's sh. We went to TVD Gamer. At least we don't assign genders to like tables and buildings. Yeah. And just most Latin languages. Spanish. In Spanish. And the other weird thing is in Spanish, when you're saying a feminine noun, then the word before it is la, or, you know, for the, if you're saying the feminine noun. Except when you're talking about numbers. Or, sorry, and then the masculine one is el. So when you're saying numbers, though, they end in a, which means they're feminine, but you say el, or la, sorry, other way around. They end in o, which means they're masculine. I told you I can't word today. And so you say la uno, which is just weird because la is the feminine the with uno, the masculine o. I've been trying to learn Japanese too, TBD Gamer. And if we're talking about numbers, that gets all kinds of confusing. So what exactly are you counting today? Flat objects? Animals? People? Years? Oh, man. Just use the universal counting system. Read fives in German. Okay. It's fünf und zwanzig, 55, 555. I know. That's why I said 50. I had to go through 20, 30, 40, 50. And then French numbers. Oh, do I remember French? I don't think I can do French past 20. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, Japanese is definitely fun if you're just counting. But even then, each ni, san, and then do you use shi or do you use yon? Go, roku. And then do you use shichi or do you use nana? Hachi, ku, ju, juichi, juni, jusan, jus. Each ni, san? Kind of. It's kind of how you learn to count if you were growing up in Japan and you're American. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, and then I don't know how they did shiji. No clue. Hachi, Q, 2. My colleague is going to kill me. 52 challenges in this. What is MR in this context? Or is that supposed to be PR? Only 52. Un? What is that one? Un, dos. Maybe uno? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. 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 Seis. Zingo Zingo says. Quick, make more changes. I said challenges, didn't I? Changes. Okay, so 52 changes in this PR. Did I tell you guys what happened on Wednesday? Wednesday was a fun morning. It was PR hell for me. So, or was it Tuesday? Anyway, it was fun still. We have a team member that is just constantly trying to improve our code and, implement things that he thinks are cool and that we could use. And I know it's coming from a place of this will make our development experience better, but it's also from a place of this is new technology and I just want to use it to solve some problem that doesn't exist. But hey, here's a problem. Let's use this to solve that problem. Anyway, so we were waiting on our release to finally happen. We had some holdups with cybersecurity. We finally released on Tuesday. And so because we were able to finally release, he had all of these code changes that he's had in branches that are for, again, improving the code. One other project that we're doing is we're trying to, since we're going to be the ones that unify all of the diagnostics tools for the company, he's making a service-oriented approach essentially for providing diagnostics to any other app. Diagnostics tooling. If you want to see like the fan speed information, then you just use our service. If you want to see the temperatures of things, if you want to know if there are graphics card issues, etc., etc. So he's making the central hub application for that. And he needed to demo it a lot. But after a while, he's like, this needs to be in main because I need to demo this. And it's like, you could demo it from your project. So anyway, long story short, he has all of these changes that he's been sitting on. And then he pretty much created all of the PRs for them on Wednesday morning and needed them reviewed for a demo he was doing. Oh, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. For a demo he was doing on Tuesday. And of course, I'm the only one that ever does PRs, even though we have 3 developers. But anyway, hello, Max. Who is Max? One, two, and finish. Then Taxi will be here soon, plus an I in Swedish. Yes. Ixi, Kaxi, Taxi, Kommer, Straxi. Oh, yeah, 1, 2, and finish. Taxi will be here soon. Probably not the same, though. Oh, Soa. Wait, what? Now that's a word I haven't heard in a long time. Who said it? Did I say it? Be careful bouncing. Oh. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna bounce out of here. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Hope to see you soon in your stream if you're streaming today. Really excited for it. And then TVD Gamer said to him, be careful bouncing. First thing I did at new customer setup, PR, structure, and rules. Yeah, that. I mean, the product that we're working on has been around for 10 years at least. And then the people working on the product have been with the same client for about 30 years. So it's kind of hard to join a team and be like, what is this branching strategy? There is none. You just commit directly to main and make sure to check for changes often. Great. But we have a branch strategy now that the main is locked down. In order to get into main, you have to do a PR unless you have force push rights, in which case you just say, screw all of you guys are taking too long to review my PR and I want my changes in. So I'm just going to push or I'm going to merge. You know, a strategy is good when you air quote it. Truth. I mean, it is a good strategy. Main branch is locked down. Whenever you're doing work off of a DevOps work item, you name your branch work item number, and then whatever. The thing that we haven't standardized is, do you use dashes, do you use underscores, do you use slashes in the branch name? But some short description. Actually, most of them, not even most of them, one of them only uses the DevOps number. One of them uses DevOps number, no space, no dash, no nothing, camel case description or area. So for example, let's say it's a video card thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 video card. And that's it. Someone else does DevOps number slash short dash description. Someone else does DevOps. I do DevOps number dash short dash description. Yeah. So Thindle's approach, for example, the task slash description ish. Actually, no, he does whether it is a task or a bug. That's a cool way, though. I like that. Task bug release. I like that approach a lot. And then DevOps number underscore description. The issue started, an issue that started though was that because of the way that our pipeline builds are, we build these shared packages into NuGet packages in the build agent, and then we reference those packages in the main application. And so we don't really have a way to use a different shared packages branch for the build. So if you're making changes in the shared packages solution, which is in a different repo, that affect the main applications. I'm trying to be really careful about the way I'm wording this because I don't want to give away the company and all that stuff. But the main applications would depend on these changes. You have to merge the shared packages branch before you can merge your main application repo. But you have to be able to build your main applications branch, which needs the shared packages stuff to be in main so that your pipeline on your branch would succeed, so that you can then merge your... So anyway, one approach to try to fix that was, let's just append the branch name to the package before it creates the NuGet package to the package name, and then reference that. And when the person that uses the slashes in their branch name put the slashes in, it just completely broke the builds, and it was just bad. It was a bad idea in general. I was like, why would you even do that? Just why? Doesn't matter. That was really hard to describe because I'm trying to be vague, but trying to also give enough information that you could see it. Doesn't work. Anyway, being a friend so you can overwhelm them with 2 to 1. Wait, there's more. Oh, dang. I missed a lot up here. So after Max came in, first thing I did, new customer, set a PR structure, and then I went on my tangent. Solo stepped out to start his stream. Yes. Okay, so his stream has started. And he's wearing his Apple Vision Pro. Looking like he's from the future. Second thing I did at new customer, lockdown main. Yes. Third thing I did at new customer, add PR build and test policy. This sounds, yeah, this is so cool. This is what I want. Service-oriented approach. I said service-oriented approach. I don't remember saying it, but I believe you. Because wording in me. Max says, I kind of want to do something with SQL. Yes, should I give it a try with pure HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, or rather with a framework? So keep in mind that when you're working with SQL, you're typically working on the back end. HTML, JavaScript, and CSS are typically front end code things. They're for presentation. So unless you're using a JavaScript framework for your backend, like Express or other ones, React, you're typically not going to be working with databases when you're just using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Thendel said, finish people when you say that one. That makes no sense. Yes, true. No idea. And then Napalm said, thank you. Talk to you later, all. T, thank you. I'll enjoy the weekend. One-to-one time for me. Or one-on-one. Gosh. Take care, Napalm. Says Thendel. Later's Napalm says Dugasoft. Thendel says being a friend so you can overwhelm them with 2-to-1, 2-on-1. You know, strategy is good when you air quote it. Max says, I'm not sure if I ALR already said this, but I was MVP in my computer science course. Awesome. Congratulations on that. What kinds of things did you work on in that course? And then TBD Gamer asked Max, what frameworks have you looked at? And then Thendel said, I like having my root folder pretty empty. Or I'm confused. What are you wanting to build? Asked TBD Gamer. Login or just play around? Login, like if you're trying to use or trying to learn SQL and you want to make a login mechanism, that's probably going to be a lot to handle at once. Login by itself is already enough to handle. So I think if you're talking login as an authentication and authorization, check out TBD Gamer stream. You'll learn a lot about OAuth or Auth0. Thendel says, there's a name for it and I don't use it all, but I use task / yeah, that's a really cool pattern. I like it. I like it. And then is it a pain to do Java databases with pure JavaScript? So I don't know. I'm sure that there are libraries for Java. Actually, TBD Gamer would probably know. He uses Angular. And so I assume that you use C# for your backend. So I don't know if you would know. But anyway, pure JavaScript would be Node, as it would be server side. As in Node.js, yes. I kind of go feature / ID _ does a thing. Release / bug fix / yeah, so same pattern as Thendel's. Nice. So it sounds like both of you like that pattern. I like it. I don't know if I could convince our team to start using that, but I like it a lot. Oh, and then we would still have the issue with the build trying to append the branch name to the NuGet package that gets generated from shared pack. Is it a pain? Yes, it's a pain. It is definitely a pain, in my opinion. Magistrix is here. Hello, Magistrix. Magistrix? Oh, Magister X. Hi. I hope you're doing well. I just use major version, minor version, build number. Yeah, that's what I do too. Yes. And it's like, why can't we use build number in our pipeline? I honestly don't get why. Yeah. So we have a directory build.props file where we do the major version, minor version, and then we could just always append dot date time, or just year month day build number. I don't see why that's an issue. If you're looking to build something with SQL, I would imagine there are plenty of examples out there using something like Express.js. Hey, I actually named a correct framework to provide an API of some form. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I am .NET backend dev. Anything JS related makes me itch, except that YouTube front end in Angular. So I guess it's not the same, maybe? Because Angular is mostly UI HTML, or an augmented HTML markup. If you aren't doing things in it in JavaScript. Or am I just imagining it? Are you not actually using Angular on your front end? I thought I kind of remember hearing you say something about you're most comfortable using Angular for your front end stuff. The reason I did number 2 and number 3 was because the first people did was cheat. What the first people did was cheat. And then TBD Gamer said to Thindle, the biggest enemy to processes are people. True. And the more people you have, the more danger there is. Because it's really, really hard to get a lot of people to buy into the same thing. Because developers, especially, in my opinion, are notorious for having opinions about what the right way to do a thing is. So I try to be the one that goes along with what the popular opinion is, but I'll complain all the time about the opinion just being so off base that I just want to do my own thing. So what framework do you recommend? Node.js? Yeah, so if you're going to do a full stack project where you're going to work with databases, there are certain existing JavaScript stacks like Mern or Mean, depending on if you want to use Angular or React. There's another one that I can't think of. So again, if you're using SQL database, then it wouldn't be Mern, actually, because that's MongoDB, which is a NoSQL database, which means that you could still use SQL syntax to query it, but it's a document database where you can pretty much just store whatever you want in whatever format you want. That's my negative opinion of document databases, of NoSQL databases. Hello, Scott. Hello. Oh man, I am missing so much chat. I will catch up eventually. But I hope you guys are having fun today. It is a really nice day here in dry, sunny Colorado. Thindle said to Max, we're pretty .NET focused here, but Node.js has tons of users. So probably a good path to take if you're starting out. Yeah, so I would say just start with a .NET project, because if you do a Blazor project, for example, the object relational, here's a word, the ORM, I can't think of what the acronym stands for, but the ORM that's typically used with .NET is Entity Framework, at least the one that Microsoft provides for us. It's called Entity Framework, and it is pretty easy to use. It's got a bit of a learning curve, but once you learn it, you can create your database, you can manipulate the objects, you can manage your database, all of that stuff, query it, everything. really, really easily. But that's why I'm thinking that there are similar JavaScript libraries that are ORMs that help you get connections to databases, query databases, and get data back. Get root. Feels okay, man. Nice. Not even feels bad. Feels okay, man. You know, main feature slash bug slash release slash. No, that seemed like a half thought. Scott came in. Hello, Scott. Register is fine. Aw. The X is just to make it unique in many places. Was before Twitter debacles and things. Yeah, I wasn't even trying to relate it to Twitter. Sorry if I did. You asked me to remind you today about origin stories. We have 10 minutes left if you want to talk about yours. So the reason that I wanted to hear yours again on this stream is because like a lot of us can relate to it. And for many people that gravitate to this stream, they're new-ish to software development, to the industry, and you have been in it for a while and you've had a different experience than me, which I want to explore more because I know my experience. I've heard Thindle's experience, but of course, always welcome to tell yours again. And the part that I liked hearing from you the most, TBD, was about the stretch of time when you were feeling like the imposter syndrome was real. It's a real thing. Because I went through university and then learned Java, C, C++, and actually I didn't even really learn the languages very good. I just learned how to persevere and buckle down and get stuff done. But afterwards, my imposter syndrome came from starting to do .NET, even though I had been using VBA and VB6 for a really long time up until that point, going on to an actual development team and using ASP Classic at the time and feeling like I'm just way in over my head, but I know what I'm doing, but I also feel like I'm just faking it kind of stuff. Anyway, but yours is a different story, and I want to hear that one again. But I want other people to hear it too, and stuff. But that's only if you feel like it. There is absolutely no requirement to. I know it takes a lot of effort to type stuff out or even join voice chat. I know you're in the middle of your workday too. So, yeah. Who are you? I am your dad. What? I am no one's dad. Major version. What are you talking about, Pendle? Oh, okay. So for versioning the NuGet packages, yes. We are using random for a couple things for the actual dev app version. So I don't know why we can't just use that too. But we're only using 4 numbers for that, which is kind of annoying. I still prefer to use the date in year, month, day format plus build number. I tried just saying we'll do it this way, and then some people kept committing to main even though we agreed not to. Right, so I had to lock it down. Yes. Then some PRs started going through without test passing or even being able to compile. Yes. MERN is MERN, which is Mongo, Express, React, and Node. And mean is Mongo, Express, Angular, and Node. Friday is fun. Yeah, it is. I don't have a bang point. Oh, I do have a bang points. It's a stream elements thing. You have 11,360 pop points. Number 24 on the leaderboard. Yes, thank you, TBD. I don't want to do .NET. That's fine. Scott says do .NET. Object relational model. Yeah, okay. I already did one time. Net. Don't remember. I did a login register. Yeah, I remember. I definitely remember. I'm just saying that you have also done JavaScript. So now that you're at a point where you can choose. Oops. Man, I am falling way behind. It's just like a layout from .NET and 1 to 2 hours work, and the programmers at the workshop thought I was like God or something. Awesome. Was it 4 to 5 years ago you did ASP.NET? He would have, well, maybe. Probably the other workshop guys did like after 3 weeks. Hello world. 3 years. It was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. If it's the one that you told us about on stream. I think I did core, not sure though. And then Wineman. Is it Wingman? Wineman? Anyway, do you think one should learn a language that is one level lower than the language one uses today? For example, learning C++ or Rust when daily using C#. I don't know. Can I table that? Can I put that on hold while I catch up on chat? Because that's a really good question. What should people, I mean, the way that you worded it was better than I would have come up with just now. Would have summarized it. I am pretty close though. It gets complicated when I comment on what you're saying when you're reading back chat. Yeah, true. That's why if you feel like it, you don't have to. Just provide a little bit of context when you respond, when you know that I'm reading back through chat from the history. Scott says, okay, but just to let you know, they are very different, Max. They did redesign of ASP.NET in 2016 and is now modern, fast, unified, etc. Oh, okay, so Scott is trying to convince you to go .NET. How old are you now, Max? 15? 16? Not that age really matters, but Max is at a point where he is experimenting. He is 167. He's experimenting. He is just like figuring out which technologies he likes and just getting good at all of them, essentially, because he can. He is pretty talented. But when he did .NET, I think, if I recall correctly, he tried MVC, or maybe it was Razor Pages. But anyway, he didn't like it. Just up front. And at the time he was doing just regular HTML and CSS. And then I was like, .NET is really fun. And then he tried JavaScript. I'm an overthinker though. Oh, just build something and have fun. Don't overthink it. I am an overthinker. Yeah. So, I mean, he definitely has tried it, but I don't think it's like a true try because there isn't anything official to really try for him at the moment, other than maybe some schoolwork. Mostly it's all just fun, which is cool. Net feels like prison compared to Pure.js. True, it could feel like that, and I can see where you're coming from because there are so many rigid rules with typing and making sure you get curly braces and semicolons everywhere lined up correctly. I guess not really lined up, but you know what I mean. Using semicolons everywhere, all the time. Not always needed in JavaScript. You can create an object out of the blue in JavaScript and just use it wherever. And not even have to say, this function only accepts this specific type. Kind of thing. Just the whole system. Interesting. Yeah, I find it really, really liberating. It gives me a whole bunch of tools and pieces that all I have to do is just put them in the right places, and it makes something really fun and cool. Okay, Yeah, okay. So then I was looking for this comment here. TBD Gamer responded with, I can't join voice chat. I was distracted as well, so apologies for not replying quickly. No worries, I was trying to catch up on chat. Maybe I can jump in voice chat next Friday. Anytime. I really don't want to make you feel like you have to talk about this, but I was just really interested because, again, my story, I went through university to get to where I'm at, even though I don't feel like university contributed all that much. And your story is you were self-guided, and I loved that. And I want to talk more about just using that term even. So that kind of stuff. I want to hear you say it on this channel so it can be there for posterity and all the people that, or the easier thing would be if everyone just went over to your channel and watched you live and talk about that kind of stuff. Just one more quick shout out. TBD Gamer. So he streams Monday. Is it the full week? I think it's the full week. Monday through Friday from 6 or 7 hours ago. Okay. I'll have to pry my types from my cold dead hugs. Seriously. I'm really I love strongly typed systems. Okay, so this question came in, and I want to talk about this before I end my stream, which is going to be very soon. So I'm going to ignore chat for a second. Do you think one should learn a language that is one level lower than the language everyone uses today, or one uses every day? For example, learning C++ or Rust when daily using C#. So I don't think it is necessary. Do I think people should? As I'm thinking about it now, I would say no. I don't think in order to be successful at a specific language, you should learn a lower level language. I think you would still be extremely successful if you got very proficient in using the language of today, the language you use in your daily life. Can you improve by learning lower level languages? For example, C#, learning C++? Absolutely. Because there are plenty of things that if you could figure out how to do machine level coding within your C# program, one of the main things is like using Windows APIs and using delegates to access them. So if you're already comfortable with using C++, then you don't really worry too much about these int pointers and just all of the other oddities that come with reading C++ code when trying to integrate those functionality into your C# application. But overall, I would say you can be very successful just learning whichever target language you're using every day. Rust, C#. I mean, Rust is still a modern language, so I don't know. 8,984. Thank you for asking. So I hope that's a decent answer. And anyone else that does have opinions, please feel free to type it out. I'll read it soon. So Max is saying, I have gained experience about overthinking. Should have met you earlier. I couldn't enjoy programming back then because all my goal was to do is it's the hardest way ever. I end up choosing to do things the hardest way. I think is what he was saying. That's just an experience perspective, not dismissing your view. Oh, dang, there was even more. So I missed all that. Oh, good conversation. I don't want to miss you. I'm so overwhelmed by the options that I just go play Fortnite. Oh, yes. Yes, that is. I would call that a trap. I would say that, like, it's really easy to say, I have way too many options. It's easier to choose to do this thing that is easy to choose. That's an easy way to just end up not doing anything that you want to do. So again, if it's not affecting you in a negative way, then whatever, do you. But if you have the intent of, I want to get this thing done, I want to learn Unity, I want to learn mixed reality development, but I don't have the time to. It's not that I have too many options on how to learn it. It's that I just, there are too many other things that I'm currently doing that prevent me from being able to pursue that. I was going somewhere with that. I need to catch up on chat because I need to end the stream. It's 2 years. Yes, at least 2 years. Just build something, have fun. Overthinker. Build, fail, struggle, learn, grow, build. Yes. Over and over and over. And, you know, drink whatever your beverage of choice is while you do it. Mine is coffee. No coffee, no code. You like the Wild West of coding. Oh, .NET feels like a prison compared to pure JavaScript. And then TBD Gamer, so you like the Wild West of coding. Whatever goes. I like my prison. Use what makes you happy. Hugs. Man, that's such a good emote. That's just an experience perspective, not dismissing your view. And then Thindle said you have to pry my types from my cold dead hugs. And again, this one's kind of echo chambery, but like we're pretty much all, well, a lot of us are into strongly typed, and we find that to be more compelling than the Wild West. So don't take our opinions as fact and truth. They're just, you know, the closest thing to fact and truth. Like I felt I'd be a loser if I Google something. Oh, yeah. So I felt like I had to do everything myself with zeros and ones. Yeah. Whereas the strength nowadays is not in your ability to write code off the top of your head, although people do want velocity developers still, which means that you're not spending a lot of time doing research, but it's also knowing how to search for what you're trying to accomplish and how to describe it to a search engine so that you can find answers. Although it's turning into how you can describe it to a chatbot so that it can give you answers. And then not only that, but receive the message from your AI and be able to parse it with your eyes and say, this looks right-ish if I change a couple things, or this is just completely wrong. This is all made up. These things don't exist. But when I was younger, I always laugh when you say statements like that. I thought so because it felt like cheating and not using my own brain to do something. It is still, in my opinion, beneficial to challenge yourself to try to do things without researching them if you have the time to do it. But know that in the actual industry, you're going to be faced with timelines and you're going to need to give some kind of product or output in a timely manner. So having the skills to be able to research the things that you need in order to accomplish your goals, to do the job, that's also just as valuable as being able to do stuff naturally from your brain. Gotcha, makes sense, feels familiar. How old are you? 43. So similar in age, man. So TBD Gamer, I think you and I are also either kindred spirits or the same life. Anyway, yours just took a path this way, mine took a path that way. And then Tamex TBD Gamer says, and I can say for certain, I paused on the project I'm working on now, worrying about too hard, too easy, overcomplicated, just the same as I always do. Definitely. Maxime turned 43 this year. You mean 16. I'm turning 40 this month. Oof. I'm, gosh, 41. 41. I'll be 42 this year. Yeah. Right? That's how you do math? Yes. That's how you do math. I'll be 42 this year. I'm 41 and a half. I'm not Purple Dragon. No, you're not, but you're Max. Are you not Max? Are you actually not Max? Or do you want me to call you Violet Dragon? Gustavo. We'll call you Gustavo. My kids keep reminding me. Hello, G-Bone. This is your first time chatting on our stream? Nuh-uh. You've said hello before. I'm Gustavo43 and I live in Utah. Except that earlier you said that you're 16. But that's okay. 16 years of programming. All right, we'll go with that then. With that, that is the end of my stream. So I did go over a little bit because I did want to catch up on chat. I'm 54 and I don't like this game. Let's stop talking about age. But anyway, happy early birthday, Dukasoft. My dad's birthday is this month too. I'm still here, says Thindle. Hi, Thindle. Bye, Thindle. And bye, everyone else. Oh my gosh. Where's my camera? Camera? Camera. Hi, still here. I'm Dukasoft. I turn Inspector mode. I wonder if I can do that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I become Ghost? Doop. Doop. Here we go. There. Much better. Okay, so thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoy your days, your weekend. I'll be back again on Monday, and we'll be working on the financial management tracker application. For those of you that have not seen it lately, this is the point that we're at. Oh, geez, you're not going to see that. We are at a point where we have a decent background selected. We have two choices. We're starting to put the content together on the main page, but we're working on redesigning the financial management tracker application. It's been fun so far. I'm learning a lot. I hope you guys are too. And I hope you're able to teach me more as we work on this more. Yeah. But I bet you couldn't guess who we're going to raid. Who I was really excited is streaming today. We're going to head on over to Solo Solipsist. No, we're not. We're going to head over to Solo Solipsist. There's a lot of S's. And watch him do some mixed reality development. He's currently wearing his Apple Vision Pro and showing us his multi-desktop setup, multi-screen desktop setup, which he didn't have working earlier. So this is really cool. But yeah, I will post the recording of this video to YouTube no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. And what else? Just hang out with me on all the cool people's channels. Irish John, Muniz, Code Rad, Solo. Bunches and bunches and bunches of really, really cool people. All right. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Until the next time. Some word that means take care. How about just take care? Thanks for all the hell. Yeah, still waiting.